Under 30 square meter buildings have become very popular in New Zealand in the last few years. They're one of the most affordable ways to expand your property without having to spend half of your budget on paperwork. And because of that, a lot of businesses are offering solutions with regards to cabins. In this video, I want to focus on one specific area of this market, and that is timber frame kitsets. These are normally pre-made floor, wall, and roof frames that you can put them together on site quickly, and to be honest, they are one of the greatest ways to kickstart your DIY build. I've been seeing more and more of the cheap cabin frames on TradeMe and Facebook Marketplace. $2,000, $3,000 for a full frame. It looks like an absolute bargain, and clearly a lot of people are buying them. But here's the problem. Some of these cheap cabin frames can cost you a lot more later. And this is something I'm seeing more and more in New Zealand lately. I understand why. Because of the financial crisis we're having, people are looking for cheaper options. So there's a huge demand. But before you buy one, here's what you really need to know. For those who don't know me, I design small cabins and small buildings in New Zealand. So I deal a lot with building code rules and regulations and building consent exemption rules. And I've seen quite a few things go wrong, not because people are careless, but because they simply don't know what to look for. I've seen situations when someone bought a cheap frame thinking they're saving money, but later on they had to modify members, add members, or rebuild some parts altogether. And by the end of it, they spent a lot more money than if they started with something that's properly designed at the beginning. And that's the frustrating part, because at the start it looked like a really good deal. So let's start with this. Why are some of these kitsets so cheap? There are a few reasons that I'm going to mention here. Reason number one is normally they use smaller timber that is required. For example, you see kitsets that use 70 by 45 timber for studs instead of 90 by 45. Reason number two is because they use lower stress grade timber. For example, they use SG6 instead of SG8. Reason number three is because they don't have a proper design behind it. Reason number four is because there is no fixing details. Reason number five is because they are not designed to any specific wind zone. And the last reason is sometimes they miss components altogether. For example, some of the kitset frames, they don't have knobs at all. And sometimes it's not intentional. Some of these are put together by people simply to offer affordable solutions, but they don't know building code and regulations. So what you're buying is not really designed, it's just assembled. Now, I'm not saying every cheap is bad, but what I'm saying is the price is often low for a reason, and you need to find out that reason. The biggest issue is not just quality, it's this. You might end up with something that does not comply with the building code, and that can create a few problems. Problem number one, you can't legally use it the way you intend to use it. For example, you might buy a kitset frame that is designed to be a garden shed or a storage shed, and if you buy that to build a sleep out, it does not comply with the building code for a sleep out. Problem number two, you might not qualify for the building consent exemption. So as you know, you can build buildings under 30 square meter without having to apply for a building consent if you meet specific conditions. And one of those conditions is you have to comply with the building code. Now, if you buy one of those kitset frames that does not comply with the building code, and for any reason you get a visit by the city council officer, I don't know, you might have a miserable neighbor who always complains about anything, and they find out that your cabin does not comply with the building code, you might actually end up receiving one of those scary notice to fix letters from the city council. Problem number 3 is you might run into problems when and if you want to sell your property later on. Problem number 4, and probably the worst one, is you might run into structural problems. The building might collapse, it might fall over, it might get blown away in a storm and end up in neighboring properties. And by the time you find out you have a problem, you've already spent the money, you've already spent the time, and it's too late. Now, let me give you some real examples. Example number 1 is different types of cladding require different framing. For example, plywood and batten cladding might need knocks at 800 centimeters, while corrugated iron cladding needs knocks at 600 centimeters. If you buy a Kitsets frame that is not designed to the type of cladding that you want to use, you might end up having to add knocks into your frame. Now, why those knocks might not cost you that much money, they definitely cost you a lot of time, and the main reason you bought your frames pre-nailed is to save time. And then you end up spending more time because they're missing components. Example number 2 is the wastage in cladding material. For example, you might buy a timber frame kit set that is not designed to the cladding sheet size, and your joints do not end up on timber studs, and now you have to cut your cladding and you end up wasting material, spending more time on cutting. And the main thing is cladding often costs more than timber frame itself. So because you saved in something that was cheaper, now you're having to spend more money in the more expensive part of the building. Actually, I'm going to point out a very interesting fact here, and that is the framing of the building. A simple building often is less than 20% of the total cost of that building. So it is one of the cheapest parts of the building, but the structural importance of it is more than any other part of the building. So if you want to save money, this is not what you want to where you want to save money. On the other hand, there are some parts like windows, for example, that can cost you a fortune, and sometimes you can find high quality, second-hand, or even brand new windows that somebody ordered the wrong size or color, and you can buy them for a bargain price, and you can customize your framing to use that window. And this is where you want to save money, in the more expensive part of the building. Now back to examples. Example number 3 is something that I've seen very often in these Kitsets frames, and that is using undersized rafters. I've seen cabin Kitsets using 90 by 45 for rafters. Now, apart from the span issues, even for the smallest cabin, 90 by 45 is very small, you run into insulation issues because there's simply not enough depth in those small rafters to put proper roof insulation in. Now you have either of the two problems. You either do not comply with the insulation building code, or you have to rebuild the rafters all over again. And if you choose to not comply with the insulation building code, you will have higher power costs in the long run because of keeping the heater on during the winter. You might also end up having more problems because on top of the insulation, you have to have enough room to have a gap between the insulation and the roofing underlay. Example number 4 is when you buy a Kitset frame that is not designed to the wind zone of your property, or it is not designed to any specific wind zone altogether, and a storm happens and your roof gets blown away. And example number 5, and this one is very important because you often cannot see it easily, and that is using the wrong type of nails and fixing patterns. So if you're looking at buying a timber frame kit set, here are some of the questions that you can ask the seller or ask yourself and see if you can find the answer to them. Question number 1 is what size timber is used for different parts? And then you can check on the building code if these sizes actually comply with the building code or not. The building code for this is NZS 3604, and you can download a free version of it from the website that I put the name here for you. Question number 2 that you need to ask is what wind zone is this frame designed to? If they don't know the answer, if the answer is a wind zone that is lower than your property wind zone, that is not the right kit set for you. Question number 3 that you can ask is there any design standard behind it? Is it designed to NZS 3604? If not, what's the standard, what's the alternative solution they have used? If they have used the alternative solution, the frame should come with a PS1, which means that an engineer is certifying that this structure is designed by a qualified engineer. And question number 4 you can ask is, are fixing details provided? Brackets, straps, nylon plates, bolts, and anything and everything else that you require. And here are some of the red flags that I personally look for if I want to buy a kit set frame. Red flag number 1 is a very low price with no explanation. Red flag number 2, it does not come with drawing and documentation. Red flag number 3, it has a very vague description, like DIY cabin. Red flag number 4, there is no mention of wind zone. Red flag number 5, there is no fixing details. And the last red flag claims like no building consent needed without context. They don't automatically mean bad, but they should definitely make you pause and ask the question that I mentioned before. Let's say you buy a cheap frame and then later on you find out that you have to upgrade the timber, you have to add some members in, or you have to rebuild some parts altogether. Now you're paying for material again, you're paying for labor again, and you're spending more time again. That cheap cabin isn't cheap anymore. And this is where people feel stuck because they think, I've already paid for it. I've already spent my time on it. I might as well continue. And here's the problem. If you don't fix the problem, the more you continue without fixing the problem, that fix becomes a lot more expensive. To be fair, there's a place for low-cost, simple structures. If you know what you're buying, if you're happy with limitation, then it might work for you. But the problem is when the reality do not match the expectation. So what's the solution? The safest way is to buy your kit set frame that comes with all the documents and evidences. If that is too expensive, if you can't afford it, the next safest option is to cut and nail your timber frame yourself. And to be honest, this is a lot easier and faster than many people think. Well, I hope you found this video helpful. If you found it helpful, I'll be making more of these videos, simple, talking about different building problems. And if you have any experience with kit sets, good or bad, I'd love to hear about your experience in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.